If you've thought about hiring offshore workers from India or the Philippines or another third world country, I want to give you my experience of what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, if it's been good or bad. In this video, I'm just going to try and lay it all out from the last 12 years of working with people in many different countries. First in Beijing, China for many, many years, and then India, and then also the Philippines now, which is where most of my staff are. And so can I just say that it's been a wonderful experience working with people in the Philippines the last few years. And I think a lot of that has been because I have figured out how to do it properly. I think when you first start, you're green. You don't know what you're doing. And most of the time, you're the problem, not the employee. Now, I think it's 50-50 like any relationship, but don't always look at the person you've hired as being the problem. And I want to show you why you're probably the problem. And if you fix that up, you can really do much better with working with someone in another country. So the first thing you need to be aware of and that I had to learn was that they're just people, okay? And so they're not superhuman. They're not Superman or Superwoman. They can't do everything. They can do, they're probably they're probably a specialist in one or maybe two things, but don't get them to do your marketing, your social media, your video editing, your accounting, calling your clients. They just can't. I mean, I don't think there's anyone in the world who could do that. And you expect someone just because they're offshore to be able to do it? No, it doesn't work that way. So what I do is I hire for attitude and I teach the skill. And so that has really helped me do much better. I lowered my expectation and I increased my training. And so I will typically hire for one skill. So if I might hire a video editor and I might teach them some marketing skills that goes with that core skill, and I make sure that they're happy to learn it. I've hired a designer and taught them to build websites and do, the whole WordPress website and also do some marketing assets and graphic design because they had that core skill. And I've hired someone who was basically a social media doing updates and taught them Facebook ads. But I didn't expect them to do that at the very beginning. I hired for attitude and then I taught the extra skills that I needed. So that's the first thing you've got to understand. And I guess the second thing is just knowing that your part to play is to do the education. And so the education comes through documentation. And so I have learned that I have to document everything. If you just say to someone, can you build that Facebook ad or can you update the website, they probably don't know. So now that's on you. So you can either tell them verbally to do it and then they'll forget straight away, like most people do, or you can show it to them and record it with a Loom video and then you never have to explain it to them again. So typically what I do is the first time I have to teach a skill to someone that I haven't documented, I'll do it with them and I'll show it to them and I will just record it and then I put that video in a Google site so it's easily searched if they have to go back to it. And I find that works really well. Now it takes discipline to build the Google site, to update the Google site with the videos, to make sure they're embedded, to record the video. And sometimes I'm halfway through teaching something and I go, I should have recorded that. So I start again and I record. And so that's documentation. Now I used to try and document through like written documentation, like step 1, step 2, write it out, screenshots. I don't do that as much. I do a checklist. So I say these are the tasks that have to be completed, and then a video shows you how to do it. I don't document with screenshots and text. It just takes way too long. I just don't have the tenacity to keep doing that. It's just so time consuming. I don't have the time either. But a video is so easy. So documentation, and the way I do it is a Google site where I store everything. I use Lucidcharts if I have to document a complex process that goes beyond one video. I use video to show actually how to do it. I have a checklist that I create in my project management app at times where I create the checklist that they click off, and each task in the checklist might have a video attached showing them, and that video is stored in Google Sites. So you can see it gets a little bit complicated. But when you do it, it works like a dream, okay? And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is you need to be a team. You need to get to know them. Now, I've worked with people where I haven't seen them on video on a daily basis, and it's really tough. And let me tell you why. Because when someone lives in another country, some of you, including me, I have the thoughts that, are they working for me? Are they actually doing the work, or are they just outside on smoko? Are they outside just living it up. And so what I find is that when you don't see someone, and even this is with your friends and your wife or your partner, when you don't see someone, you start to think about things that they could be doing that they're actually not doing. And so you start to demonize someone. And so what I find is the way to solve that is just to touch base every day, and video is the best way because you get to see them, you get to have a chat, you get to smile, you get to really get to know them. And then the trust level goes up as you become friends. And I think it's really important that you actually become people that trust each other. I think when you first start working with someone in another country, the trust levels for both parties is low because some of the people in these countries have been treated really badly, and some of the people in the West have actually been treated badly as well. They've been tricked and a whole bunch of things. So the only way to solve that is through what you do in a normal relationship. You just see people and you talk to them and you talk on a regular basis. So I have a meeting with my team every morning, and before they go, I have another chat with them. And during the day, I'll have quick chats, or I'll speak to them on Skype. And I just find that has really helped me really trust, and has helped them believe in me, that I actually have their best interests at heart. And so that's the other thing I would say to you. Just really, when you hire someone, don't be a stranger. Don't just give them tasks. I did it at some point. I was just giving tasks all the time. And one of them said to me, Marlon, you're just a taskmaster. Like, find out about my life. Like, let's ease up a bit. And I thought about it and I thought, yeah, I am a taskmaster. I, I'm just so trying to be so efficient, I forget that I just need to chat sometimes. And so I want to encourage you, like, offshoring and getting people to work in another country is just really rewarding for many reasons. One is you really help. You can really help families over there and people, and but they actually really help you. But what's even better is the relationships that you form. And the people that work with me have worked with me for a very long time. Whenever I hire someone, I always say to them, I want to work with you for the next 3 to 5 years. I don't want a 6-month engagement. I want a long-term engagement, and I want to really become part of each other's lives. And with Zoom and Skype, we're able to do that. And it's just been wonderful. But the first 6 to 12 months was really tough for me because I didn't know these lessons. Now that I know the lessons, it works really well. So I want to encourage you, if you want to grow your web design business and you want to take a lot of the pressure off yourself and have a team that works for you that is rock solid, I encourage you to hire people offshore, but use the principles that I've taught you, because if you don't, it will be a nightmare. But if you do, it will be a wonderful experience. So look, if you need some advice, or you want help on hiring a team, I'm happy to have a scale session with you. Like I do these 15-minute brainstorms with people. I have a coaching program where I teach all of this, but I'm happy to get on a 15-minute chat with you and just to speak into your situation, okay, to see where you're at and where you need help, and I can give you some advice, point you in the right direction. And if I can help, I'll let you know. If I can't, I'll point you in the right direction. So around this video, there is a application form where you can apply for a scale session. If you qualify, book in a time. I look forward to speaking to you soon.